victory. All right, and let's talk more about this. Joining me in studio this afternoon is Franklin Sunday. He's a Standard Business reporter. Thank you so much, Franklin, for being with us. What do you make of this? This is quite the move. I mean, they have had issues, these countries, for a while now, but it has never gotten to this point, has it?
Yeah, I mean, thank you so much for having me, Sophia. And like you mentioned, this is an unprecedented time in the Gulf states and the Arab League, because nothing like this has happened in decades. And even the diplomatic tiff they had in 2014 did not escalate to this level, where we had citizens of Qatar being expelled from these other Gulf states. So we are seeing sort of heightened diplomatic anxiety in this region, and guys are watching to see where it will go and how many businesses or how many entities will be affected. So one, you're having the citizens being told to go back home. Number two, I was getting an update on also flights. You know, you have Qatar has been blocked from going to these countries, but also that they will not have their flights like Etihad, the likes of Emirates as well, going to Qatar. So in terms of a business perspective, this is huge, isn't it? Oh yeah, it is. I mean, these Gulf carriers, most of them have already cancelled their flights from tomorrow. So actually, anybody who was supposed to fly through Qatar in any of these Gulf carriers will have to reconsider their flight schedule. So it has really affected a lot of travelers to this region, considering this is a region that is very interconnected. And often you have business people, exporters, traders moving across these countries undeterred or unhampered. So right now, they really have to take a step back and think on how they're going to maneuver their movements around.
Yeah, and what is being cited is funding largely of terrorism activities. IS has been named as one of those, and also those that are under Iran. Of course, Iran are huge issues we've seen between them and Saudi Arabia. So what is likely to be the way forward? Because Tillerson, spoke about this. He's in Australia and said they need to find a quick resolution to this, and he's willing to participate.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. It's becoming quite complicated, and it's pulling in all the Western countries, because even after the London attacks over the weekend, we saw Theresa May saying that enough is enough, and that there need to be a sterner reaction to extremist Islamist ideology, and this comes 10 days after Trump's visit to the region. So it's also being interpreted sort of a move by these Gulf states that they mean business, and that IS or the Muslim Brotherhood or any other Islamic state-related extremist groups are not allowed funding from any of their entities.
Yeah, and this is a strong move. It definitely speaks volumes. And even the bloc, in terms of the economic bloc they have together, do you see it escalating to Qatar being kicked out? Because they have been seen largely as trying to, play Big Brother, trying to muscle each other out. Will this impact that as well?
At the moment, it might be a bit too early to tell, but it's also curious to know that Qatar is preparing to host the World Cup in 2022.
Yes.
Preparations are in high gear. In fact, one of the stadia was opened just a month ago, one of the very big stadia, and they are putting together, I think, 4 more. So it really waits to be seen where this will go and what FIFA will do about this. FIFA has just issued a statement a couple of hours ago saying that they are in constant communication with Qatar, and that at the moment they are not willing to put out any other communication. So we're really waiting to see where this all goes.
And finally, in terms of just largely where this takes relations, and as far as the war against graft is concerned, because Iran is something Trump spoke, strongly about when he was in Saudi Arabia, and we're seeing this a country that constantly denies these allegations about her links with these terrorist groups or factions. How do we see the world mobilizing, if at all? We are seeing the bloc mobilizing, but will the world likely mobilize as well to perhaps alienate Qatar altogether?
Yeah, I think the world will sort of take a cue from what the Arab League states will do, because as Rex Tillerson, intimated that they should need to go back to the negotiating table. I think people are sort of waiting to take a cue from what these countries will do after sort of isolating Qatar, because this is not the end of it, and they can't have complete isolation. So the next few days will be really interesting to see what comes out of it.